The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
A couple weeks ago, we learned about a fantastic destination for RVers. It's up in New England, but we only had a few minutes to visit about it. I thought it was such a cool place. I wanted to learn more, so let's get right to our guest line with Becky Metcalf, who is in beautiful New Hampshire. Hiya, Becky. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Alan.
Well, thanks for being back with us. Now, for those who did not catch our last visit, start out by telling everybody where you are up there in New England and the significance of where you are.
Okay, well, we are located in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and so that's the northern part of New Hampshire. Beautiful area in the heart of New England.
And it's called Bretton Woods, right?
Yep.
Is that a city or is that just an area?
It's we are very rural up here. Like I said, it's in the middle of the mountains. So Bretton Woods is actually it consists of some historic properties. The Omni Mount Washington Hotel, which is a grand resort. There was about 5 of them in New Hampshire. Now that I believe there's only 2. And that is one of them. There's also Bretton Woods ski area and the Cog Railway. That's pretty much what Bretton Woods consists of.
And obviously the Cog Railway is what we're here to talk about today. I guess you've got thousands of people every single week, especially in the summertime, that pass through your area that are just enamored with this Cog Railway and your wonderful train. Tell us about it.
Well, we are a mountain climbing train. We are actually the first in the world. We were built in 1869, brainchild of a fellow named Sylvester Marsh. He was originally from Campton, New Hampshire, moved out to Chicago to make his fortune, and then retired back to New Hampshire and thought there ought to be a railway going up to the summit of Mount Washington, which is the highest peak in the northeastern U.S.
So he made his fortune, and then he spent it building a train going to the top of the mountain, right?
Yes.
So what is a cog railway? I've heard of it, I think, but describe what a cog railway is and what it's like to ride on this really cool train.
Okay, well, the reason why we're called a cog railway is because we use technology that uses a gear and a rack and pinion system. So that gear will set into the rack and it sort of crawls up the mountain. And it can go up very, very steep grades, and that is really the reason why we are able to climb this steep mountain. Our steepest grade is about 37.4%, so
wow.
We need that gear to get us up to that top of that mountain.
So it's really slow then going up the mountain?
It is. It's about 5 miles an hour.
Well, so that just gives you more time to take in the scenery. We've been playing some video here in the background for our people who are watching the live stream. It just looks beautiful up there, especially for a guy from central Texas where it's pretty flat. It's just gorgeous up there in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, it's very mountainous up here. There's not very many places where I know, like in Texas, you can see for miles, and you don't really have that ability in New Hampshire unless you're at the summit of Mount Washington. Of course, you can see for miles up there.
So tell me, you guys have it's called, I think, a coal fire steam locomotive. What is that all about? What's it look like?
Oh, we do. Well, it's actually a very interesting looking steam engine because it doesn't look like any other regular steam engine that you would be familiar with. For instance, the boiler is actually at an angle, and that is because it climbs up the mountain. So it's a funny-looking little steam engine, but it does the job, and it gets you up the hill. And that one was the one we run is built in 1912.
Wow. So you're still using that, more than 100 years old. And you've got, I mean, literally hundreds and hundreds of people come up there every day to take this beautiful train ride up to the top of Mount Washington. What is that ride like? Can I see wildlife? Am I going through any, kind of very interesting terrain, or describe it for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we have all kinds of wildlife up there. We are in the middle of the White Mountain National Forest. So we have bear, moose, fox, deer, you name it. We've got it. All kinds of rare birds because of where we are. We also, we climb through 4 distinct climate zones from the base all the way up to the summit. So you will see quite a bit of variation in terrain as you get to the top, which is actually the tundra at the summit. It's an alpine zone, so it would be equal to, say, Labrador, Canada, or even close to the Arctic as far as weather goes, which is very interesting.
It just looks spectacular. Now, I guess you have RVers come there all summer long and even into the fall.
Oh, we do. Yeah, RVers. We have parking for RVs, and we offer it. It's basically free. We just ask that people check in with us and let us know that they're there, and they can ride up on the train. And it's a nice spot to park for the night.
You know, and that's the way actually Becky and I got connected, folks, was through Harvest Hosts, which is one of the sponsors of the show, where when you're a member of Harvest Hosts, you can stay at places like the Cog Railway for free. And how cool is that? So, when you get to the summit, is there anything there? And we've only got about 30 more seconds, and we got to wrap it up to break. What's up there at the top of the mountain?
Yes, the summit has a state park building. So there's a weather observatory, there's a place to lounge for hikers and guests, and there's a few museums up there. So there's quite a bit to do up there at the summit.
All right, folks, we're just getting started. We've got Becky Metcalf on the line with us from the Cog Railway up in beautiful New Hampshire. We're going to pick it up after the break, learn a lot more about this place, and tell you how you can stay there for free. Yep, for nothing, as long as you're a member of Harvest Hosts. I'll tell you about that during the break. This is the RV Show USA. If you'd like to be a part of the program, you can give us a call, 855-296-7469, or shoot us a note on Facebook, and we'll do our best to get right back with you. Y'all hang on.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
And this portion of the show is brought to you by Harvest Hosts. With more than 600 terrific destinations nationwide, RVers can stay for free. Wineries, breweries, farms, and even the Cog Railway, where we are right now. More about Harvest Host in a bit. For now, though, better grab your jackets, because I guess getting kind of cool up there in New Hampshire at the Cog Railway. Is it pretty cool right now up there, Becky?
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty cold. Yesterday we had 60-mile-an-hour winds up there, which is pretty average. It was in the mid-40s.
Well, I love it.
Yeah.
60-mile-an-hour winds. Now, I guess the weather can be a big factor when we're going up there. RVers go up there to jump on the Cog Railway. Does the weather ever shut y'all down?
Oh, it does. It does every now and then. We can pretty much go up there in most weather. This time of year, starting in October, November, sometimes we make it about halfway up. But as of now, it's been great. We just tell people, like you said, wear a jacket, wear a hat, wear gloves, be prepared for winter-type weather. It is the temperature average is about 30 degrees cooler at the summit than at the base.
I love it. And be prepared for wind, like you said. Now, are the trains open? Any of them open? Or are they all enclosed? Or describe them for me.
So the trains are historic in design. They are all enclosed. They do have windows that you can open to take pictures outside the windows, but they are enclosed trains, and they are heated. So you can, enjoy those elements and then get back in a nice warm train for your ride back down, which is nice.
And so the entire trip is about 3 hours, I understand. It takes about an hour to get to the top. And what can I do up there at the summit of Mount Washington?
Well, so yeah, it's an hour ride to the top. You get an hour up there to spend. There's amazing views, which is what most people go up there for. But there's also, like I said, there's a Summit State Park building, so you can go into that building and visit the Weather Museum, which is very interesting because it talks about why Mount Washington is such a unique place. It's known to have the worst weather in the world. It also has the record for having the highest wind ever observed by man in the world. So there's some pretty interesting weather facts there, yeah.
Wow. What are the fall time trips like as compared with the summertime trips? Which are your favorite and why?
Oh, well, the fall is definitely hands down probably everybody's favorite time of year just because of the incredible colors. We're just starting to see some foliage right now. I think it'll be probably another week or so before we see peak, but the fall colors become incredibly intense, and that is the busiest time of year for us. My favorite time of year, believe it or not, is the spring, late spring, because that's when everything turns green, and after a long winter, that's a really nice sight to see. So,
what do y'all do?
Everybody has a different favorite time of year.
What do you do up there, Becky, in the wintertime? Because I understand you close down like late November, first part of December. What do y'all do over the wintertime? Shovel snow?
We do. Yeah, we do close down, but we actually build all our trains on site. So we use that time from December through May to build trains, to maintain trains, to upgrade things. We have 6 biodiesels, building a 7th, and those 2 steam trains. So we have a lot to do in the wintertime.
Are there that many people? I mean, my gosh, you guys are in a remote area, but you must pack them in, baby. I mean, it looks like, I mean, it's so pretty up there. I can see why you do.
We do. We like I said, this time of year, we're seeing anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 people a day through fall, and then in the summertime, it's probably averages close to 1,000 people a day in the height of our season. So yeah, we have a lot of people. A lot of people visit the White Mountains.
And y'all do groups and special events and things like that as well, I see.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we have a number of different events we do throughout the summer. A handcrafted festival, steampunk festival, and we do Thanksgiving family holiday trains as well.
Somebody told me that you had pretty good connections with the big guy up at the North Pole. Tell us about that.
Yes, we do. He comes to visit, and he likes to test out, his elves, his sleigh. He likes to make sure everything's working. So he uses Mount Washington because, like I said, we get snow before everybody else. So he'll once in a while take a ride on the train, and he may, offer the kids a little gift and say, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and what would everybody like this year? So we happen to see him right around Thanksgiving.
What a cool place to visit. And I want to segue kind of into Harvest Hosts, because that's, like I said earlier, that's how you and I got connected, Becky. Tell us about the art. Where do I stay if I'm an RVer and I want to come up there and stay for free? Did you just say anywhere you want over there? Do y'all have an area? Describe it for me, if you would, please.
Okay, well, we are off of Route 302, which is a major route up in northern New Hampshire. We're 6 miles down Base Road off that route. And when you go down Base Road, you'll come to the Cog Railway. We're at the end of the road, and there's an RV parking lot on the left, and we have it marked. And people can come in and just park essentially anywhere in that lot. We do ask that they sort of park to the side, as we do have bus tour groups that come in, and those buses like to come in and out. So we just ask you park kind of towards the side, but yes, anywhere in there is fine. We're pretty easygoing, and if you happen to come in at night and nobody's around, you just let us know in the morning that you're there, and that's pretty much it.
So I am kind of a ways from the base station from my RV, where I'm going to stay in my RV, but you guys have transportation between where the RVs park and to jump on the train?
We actually do. Yeah, we have what we call people movers. So we have a little shuttle, and we'll come down and pick you up and bring you up. So we recommend you give us a call up at the base station and say when you'd like to take your train, and we'll tell you when the shuttle starts running, and we can come down and pick you right up. How
many RVs can you guys accommodate? I mean, 5, 50? I don't have any idea.
Well, I'd say probably the most at one time would be maybe up to 10. We've never really had, we've always found parking. So if an RV comes in and they're looking, we actually have multiple lots that we aren't even using right now. So like I said, we haven't had that problem. We haven't run out of space yet.
That's awesome. So if I'm a member of this club, Harvest Hosts, and I want to stay, if I want to come up there and ride the Cog Railway and see everything Mount Washington has to offer, I just contact you, let you know that I'm a member of this club, and you kind of roll out the red carpet and say, you park over there.
Yeah, pretty simple. We have 2 ways to contact us. You can give us a call. Our number is 603-278-2259, and just leave us a message. If no one answers, we'll get right back to you. Or you can Facebook message us, which a lot of people do. They happen to be on the road, they're on Facebook, and they just send us a message and say, hey, we're coming up, and we reply really quickly.
And you've got a beautiful Facebook page, such great videos, such great pictures. In about 30 seconds or so, tell me, if I come up there all the way up there to New Hampshire to see you, Becky, what else can I do besides ride the Cog Railway? Give me a couple of things real quick.
Well, you have lots of options. We have hiking, we have kayaking, we are a tax-free state, so no sales tax. You can go shopping in a beautiful town, North Conway, near us. there's a lot to do up here, all kinds of outdoor recreation.
Well, that's awesome. Listen, we got to call it there. Thank you so much for being on again. You have a great fall season. We'll talk again maybe next spring.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan.
All right, you take care. Folks, if you'd like to learn more and you'd like to stay up there for free or any other 600 other places that Harvest Hosts has on their destination list, you can stay there for nothing. If you're a member of the club, just go to harvesthosts.com. And at the checkout, use the code word radio, RADIO, code word radio, save another 10%. So it's like $44 for a whole year. You can't beat it with a stick. Harvesthost.com, code word radio. Be right back.